Ladies and gentlemen, it is the world's wokest warrior, primitive-sided, toxic fanboy aligned with the like-minded. Tony, Tone Deaf, rocking with you. I want to welcome one and all to the Clown World Review. How is everybody doing this fine Tuesday evening? We are back with the Monday Night War retrospective. It is week 59, and man, these weeks are just flying by. Thank you, everyone out there in the chat. Who do we have? Superfan Adam Shawhan, Mr. Judas Goat Barbecue. I think I'm assuming you're gender Judas because, haven't seen the selfies yet, but I'm going to go ahead and assume Mr. Judas Goat Barbecue. So I hope you don't mind. Tonight we've got a full hour of WWF Monday Night Raw, 2 hours of Nitro. We're also going to review the In Your House Buried Alive. We've got Sid and Vader wrestling for a #1 contender slot for this 1996 Survivor Series, going up against Shawn Michaels' WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Also, we're about 2 weeks away from the 1996 Halloween Havoc, the first year of the tradition where Halloween Havoc would take place in my hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been to a few of those. Always a great show when they were out here. It's probably not so well known, but there was a relationship between WCW and Las Vegas, and WWF would come out here sometimes, but WCW, they were always doing us proper. They'd be out here in August for a Nitro. They'd be back in October for Halloween Havoc. They were the wrestling show going on out here, and it was always nice. Just live at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, right here on the Las Vegas Strip, and it was always just a damn good show. So I'm going to look forward to going back and review these Halloween Havocs and a lot of these shows that I've been to for WCW. Always a good time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and introduce our panel for the evening. First off, I fucked that up. He's got the red, white, and blue running through his veins like he's Demi Lovato. He was born and raised in the USA like Elon Musk. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Place to Be Reviews, Mr. Etep Wokuian, how you doing, sir?
I'm just a Disco Inferno. What's going on, everybody? Etep Wokuian from the Place to Be Reviews, now on Odyssey under the same name, right here with all of yous, ready to talk some wrestling. These were interesting weeks. I didn't get to watch the Raw, admittedly, but I watched Nitro. And the Raws, I know we've been talking about. They're starting to get really good, and it's like I gotta make more time for that. But yeah, man, good to be here. Hail the chat. Thank you, brother.
Gaze.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Red Gaze is awake. All right, hey, look, look, man.
Red
I know.
Bear take nappy.
I never. You knew exactly what I was thinking too. Like as soon as I started laughing, when
yes.
Thank you for having me, brother. I'm happy to be here as always, man.
It's always a pleasure, man. And the next co-host on this panel, he what is it? He shines, but he sure as shit don't sparkle. Werewolves,
twinkle.
watch your daughters. It's Mr. Angelous Draven. How are you doing, sir?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. Should be a good show. I always have fun doing this with you guys, talking wrestling and shooting the shit. Yeah.
Yes, brother. Yes. Good to have you back. Always a pleasure when you're on the show with us. The man tries to hold this vampire down, but he don't let him. He just fucking bites his neck, fucking puts him under his little vampirical trance, and fucking nobody tells this dude what to do. Like he's the boss.
Yep.
So yeah, motherfuckers, what's up? Dude, great to have you. Now that I'm done with my little weird rant, and we should keep the layout like this for tonight. It just looks so well, you know. There goes the tumbleweed rolling by. Like, damn. Maybe we should talk about some wrestling. And also, speaking of wrestling, join us here in about, what, 2 weeks now?
Yeah,
A
like
shade
2
under
weeks.
2 weeks. May 29th for the...
Yeah, I got my thing for that. Hold on one sec.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Double or Nothing. Right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I know what you're thinking. Mr. Tone Deaf, will you be there? No. But you know where I will be? Over on Draven's channel, we're going to be talking about Double or Nothing, CM Punk versus Hangman Page. I'm hoping, I don't know the whole situation. I have been keeping up with it, but I'm really hoping we get a little Kenny Omega at this show. I know he's been
I'm
out.
kind of hoping that too.
Yeah, that guy is so enigmatic. Like, he really is the man. If I was going to say, well, who's the Ric Flair of this generation? It's Kenny Omega, man. Like, a sight to behold last year when he was coming out. He had the Impact Heavyweight Championship, the AEW Heavyweight Championship, was it New Japan? I know he had the AAA Heavyweight Championship. This dude was just shrouded in World Heavyweight Championships, and it was so cool to see because you don't see that often in professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's like FTR and them having all like the tag team titles. Like, they just keep piling up.
Yeah. This dude, his shoulders were not pinned to the mat in over 2 years.
And this dude actually fucking defended it. Unlike what's his name? That has it now in WWE.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns, yeah. He at least fucking defended it, Kenny Omega. Fucking Roman Reigns, like, you're lucky if he defends it.
Yeah, exactly. This is the man right here. Let me bust this open in a new tab here. Dude was coming out just covered in World Heavyweight Championships. He can go in the ring. He can cut promos, and I gotta tell you, I'm nothing against AEW, nothing against Hangman Page, but it's always more interesting when you have the heel and you've got the face kind of chasing the heel for the championship. Same thing with romances. It's always, for lack of a better term, it's always better when they tease Ross and Rachel compared to when they finally get together,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Omega's the man, so I hope to see him back. He's dude's a star, and he's turned down the WWF because...
I definitely have a feeling Punk is going to win just because it's Punk. And I feel that Hangman's reign has been very lackluster.
Agreed.
And that hasn't really done anything, in my opinion, to like warrant even having the title to begin with. But
I agree. And I haven't paid that much attention. Like, I didn't see his entire road to the heavyweight title. But
well, he was
I don't know,
out, and then he came back and then got a #1 contenders thing, and then he beat Omega. And Omega was riddled with injuries because he's been basically holding the company on his back since, its inception. And so he basically took a break to deal with all that stuff. But yeah.
Etep, how's your Daffy Duck impression?
Daffy, not too good.
Oh man, I wanted you to be Cody Rhodes bitching about not getting the title shot. Well, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll go
I've utterly
succotash. I'll go to the WWE then.
Oh wait, he's the one that says
Sylvester Stallone, or not?
Sylvester. Yeah, I was gonna say Sylvester. Yeah, he's the one that suffering succotash.
Whoever fucking says it, Cody Rhodes has a lisp, and that's what's important here. You motherfucker, you traitor.
Yeah,
I yeah, I'm not invested like that. I still think Cody's a fucking traitor. How many people did he come on over to AEW? Fuck WWE. Come on over. And he gets all these people to burn their bridges. And they're like, all right, we're here. And he's like, bye, I'm going to WWE. Like, and they cheer for him. They cheer for him.
That's because, and I could be wrong, but that's what WWE fans are. They just, you can force feed shit down their throat and they'll fucking cheer it. It doesn't matter what it is. They'll cheer it.
Yeah, I know. Well, during the last pay per view, the WrestleMania Backlash, him and Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins were having a match, 3.5 stars, 4 stars, and the fucking fans are sitting there chanting, "This is awesome!" Like, what?
Yeah, I
They have
know.
low standards.
Now,
Yeah,
I will say that AEW isn't perfect. It has its shit matches. You know, no wrestling promotion is perfect, but
No.
at least they fucking wrestle over on AEW instead of like 20 minutes or like half the show is promos like the whole time. Like yeah, I guess you want to build a story. We should be doing that shit in the ring.
yeah. And let me take a second out to say, yo, Yummy! Yummy and the Guinea Pig Collective. No, what's up, Tommy? It's good to see you, brother.
Hey.
He'll be joining us again here in a few weeks. Everyone send your well wishes out for the man. The Guinea Pig Collective is they're not, yeah. Somebody put I was going to say syphilis. No, a disease that isn't sexually transmitted, okay? They put fucking tuberculitis or something on some fucking blankets and sent it over to the Guinea Pig Collective, and that's fucked up, yo. It's the pale faces. I know it was. So, yeah, we're sending our well wishes out to our brother, our cohort in the Monday night retrospective. Tommy, we hope you feel better soon. It's great to see you, man. Brutal Morningwood, hail to you. What's that say? That's despicable. Yes, thank you. Yeah,
That's Daffy. I think he says that.
Yeah.
That's despicable.
Either way, Brutal Morningwood writing that out is already better than my impression, you know. I'm not the vocalist here, so yeah, everybody. So join us. Sorry, Yoni. It's okay.
Yoni.
It's okay.
Wait, did Tony say sexually transmitted gay?
Probably.
That can happen. That's a thing. Ask Dr. Fauci. It can happen. It came from a toilet seat. Just tell him you got it from the butt.
Yes, should have wiped that bitch off. Never take a dump at Walmart, because yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump into our show for this evening. But again, make sure to join us over on Draven's channel May 29th for AEW Double or Nothing. It's going to be a great night. And one thing I can say about AEW, like, their pay-per-views are usually on point. Not to go back to this, but I hadn't watched WWE in a while. Watched a few more pay-per-views this year. Royal Rumble. Then I watched part of the Elimination Chamber. Then WrestleMania. Then WrestleMania Backlash. And God, I mean, I don't know if there have been bright spots, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or, different things that you'll remember and might cheer for on these shows. But like the all-around shows have just been a shit show this year. Like their pay-per-views haven't been great. Then you put on an AEW show and it's just fantastic. Was that All Out where Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson returned?
Yes.
Yeah, that show was just insane.
That show was great.
Top to bottom, yeah. Yep. So join us there. And yeah, Tommy, be careful. You don't want to get struck by non-hetero lightning. That happened to me once, and yeah, I had to explain it to my wife. It wasn't ideal circumstances.
You do. When we watch that pay-per-view, that'll be the first time I ever watched AEW.
Really?
I still suggest going back and watching All Out. It was so amazing. Such a good show. I've
never watched more than like one match at a time on YouTube, any AEW. It's on Wednesday nights and we're streaming Wednesdays, and then I never go back and watch replays of anything. It's an ongoing story that I'm like, how the hell do I jump into the middle of this now? You know what I mean?
Well, they have stories, but it's not that hard to like follow what's going on if you just jump in.
Yeah,
that's the good thing about AEW. Like, you don't have to know what the hell's really
it's not convoluted.
Yeah, because there isn't this like fucking huge ass storyline that's like so convoluted that you're like, what the fuck's happening?
Yep. And that's, dude, that's one thing I hate when we always were conscious of when we were booking was you got to make sure the fans are going to get where you're going with your angles and your arcs. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Your programs have to be able to make sense to the fans. If they don't make sense to the fans, then it doesn't matter if it makes sense to you because it's shit.
Yeah,
So,
it's got to be relatable.
yep, wrestling suffers from a lot of that today.
And unlike, not to bring it back to this again, but like unlike modern day WWE, if you're in the main event in AEW, you gotta go. You gotta be able to go. You gotta be able to wrestle a fucking match. Whoever booked that WrestleMania main event between Brock and Roman Reigns, it's like, okay, then you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna spear him. All right, then what? What's next? Then another spear. Then another spear.
Yeah,
Then
it's so
and
dumb.
Yep.
I'm not being hyperbolic. Then a
No.
Superman punch, then a missed Superman punch, then a spear, then another spear, and then
Mm-hmm.
pin him out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
That it'll be legend. And this isn't the first time these two behemoths, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, wrestled each other. They've wrestled better matches in the past, but and then lo and behold, I'm pretty sure Roman got injured in that match. It's like all you fucking did was spear the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the it wasn't quite up to the standards of Bam Bam Bigelow and who was it, Lawrence Taylor? Yeah, not quite there, but close. So try again next year, Roman and Brock, 'cause I'm sure you'll be the main event again.
Yup.
So we're covering the week of October 14th, 1996. Again, we're about 6 days out from In Your House Buried Alive. We are 2 weeks out from the 1996 Halloween Havoc here in Las Vegas, Nevada. But tonight, WCW Nitro emanates to you from Memphis, Tennessee, in the Mid-South Coliseum, Jerry Lawler's old stomping grounds. We've got WWF Raw emanating from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Nitro, definitely the winner again this week, with a rating of 3.3 compared to WWF Raw, drawing a 1.8. The current WCW champions are as followed: World Heavyweight Champion Hollywood Hogan, U.S. Champion Ric Flair, WCW World Tag Team Champions Harlem Heat, the World Television Champion Lord Steven Regal, and of course your Cruiserweight Champion Rey Mysterio. Our number one, your hosts are Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko, and Nitro begins with a recap of last week. Macho Man Randy Savage being decimated by the NWO after attempting to defend Elizabeth. The NWO propagandists are in the stands again handing out flyers, and Dean Malenko's music hits. Yes, and a black limousine arrives in the arena while Dean Malenko's making his way out, and the Outsiders are out first, followed by Imposter Sting, Six, and then a second limo arrives with the Giant, Ted DiBiase, Vincent, and Hollywood Hogan. Back in the arena, Dean Malenko defeats Brad Armstrong via inside cradle in 5 minutes 22 seconds as he prepares to challenge Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight title at Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks. This match was quick, but a decent opening bout, enough to get the fans excited for the upcoming show. And the commentators mentioned that we will hear from Nick Patrick regarding Macho Man later in the evening, because a couple weeks ago, Macho Man put his hands on Nick Patrick. Since then, Nick Patrick's been intermittently wearing a neck brace, talking about fining Macho Man $1 million, the largest fine in WCW history, and he's trying to get the corporate brass behind him to support him in that $1 million fine. What did you guys think of Dean Malenko and Brad Armstrong?
I thought it was this is the thing with Brad Armstrong, was if that guy could have developed any kind of gimmick, he would have been a decent upper mid card worker, because he had good in ring skills. He just had no gimmick, like none.
Isn't he related to Road Dogg too? Like
It's his brother.
Armstrongs, yeah.
No.
It's his brother.
Yes.
And there was a Scott Armstrong too. He was the referee in the Fed. But yeah, just no charisma. I mean, he had a little bit, but he just never could find something that worked for him, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. Dean, I mean, God, you know, that's the thing about Armstrong. Armstrong could go, and Dean, for being as undersized as he is, and Dean Malenko's a very small guy in stature.
Yeah, he is.
He could work. He could work a good match with bigger guys, and make it. And this match was one of those. And Dean, Dean gets the W, but it was a solid opener. You know.
Yes.
Not quite the luchador quality, but it was a good opener.
Yeah. Dean Malenko's on that level where he was kind of a same boat as Brad Armstrong as far as like not really having much of a gimmick, not too much of a personality, but he was just so damn good in the ring that it covered for it. You know, like he was kind of doing the Benoit thing before Benoit was, you know, maybe not as aggressive, but just a damn good wrestler. So
definitely.
Yeah. It's like the Chris Wallace of wrestling. Like his father may have been a little bigger, but you know, it's okay. Deep down we all love him.
Yeah.
So, on WCW Saturday night, Wall Street and Hacksaw Jim Duggan collided, but okay, so Hacksaw went to pull out his roll of tape to punch Wall Street. Nick Patrick saw it and took the tape away from Duggan. But then the referee was accidentally knocked down during Duggan and Wall Street's brawl. Duggan pulls out a second roll of tape, nails Wall Street with it. He makes the pin. Nick Patrick counts the 3 count, but then he reverses the decision when he sees the tape hanging from Hacksaw Jim Duggan's fist. And they're going to have a rematch here on WCW Monday Nitro with referee Mark Curtis. And while we're on the subject, I want to say, you know, I remember years ago when Duggan came out on WCW Thunder and announced that he had been diagnosed with cancer, and it was a long year, and he finally made his comeback, and he had defeated it. And since then, he's had battles. You know, he's been brawling with cancer, and he seems to do well, you know, given his circumstances. But he did release a video, and Draven actually brought this to my attention. Thank you, brother. He was diagnosed with cancer again, you know, recently after going through a surgery last year to remove it.
Back in October, I want to say.
Yeah. So he's headed back in for some rounds of radiation and possibly chemo, about 8 weeks. But he mentions the doctors caught it early, and the outlook looks positive. So, and you know, he's standing there with his wife, and she's trying to smile, but
she's like about ready to fall apart, which I'm sure after the video she probably did. But
exactly. But you know, I just get well soon, Hacksaw. We love you, except Etep. Yes. So, and you're right, Superfan. Dean Malenko was a smooth wrestler.
Yeah,
good guy. But Hacksaw, just feel better, bro. Beat it again. You know, you're fucking. I understand. Again, he wasn't ever, you know, main event material, but he was fun from somebody who's seen him perform live multiple times. He is the perfect guy to go out there and warm up the crowd. He could always get a response from him, which is, I mean, that says something when you can go out there and people, you know, his is.
I always liked him as a kid, so.
Yeah, I liked him when I was little. Yeah, when I was younger, absolutely, I was a fan. When I got older, I was just like, like by the time he showed up in WCW, I was like, ugh.
Yeah. And look, it may not be as mainstream, but Hacksaw could go out there and get the reactions that Ric Flair would get with his woo. He could just get the crowd going. Yeah.
And he didn't really do much other than have a big hoss fight every time he worked. You know, that was Duggan's shtick. You know, it was going to be a lot of punches, a lot of big guy moves, and, you know, not too long of a match. So the crowd could stay hot the whole time.
Yeah. Like he knew how to put on the quintessential Haas fight. You know,
Yeah.
he knew how to frame it to where it was fun. You know,
Yep.
he
Definitely.
wasn't no Kali, great Kali. So there's that.
No, God. Oh, Elegante.
I remember Elegante.
Yes. So again, they are in the Mid-South Coliseum tonight. Now we get a little shade from WCW, trying to stir the pot a little bit. Tony Schiavone thanks WWF commentator Jerry Lawler for helping to promote this show at the Mid-South Coliseum, and Schiavone claims this is the biggest crowd in the Mid-South Coliseum ever for any wrestling event. And Larry Zbyszko, that fucking bowl of Cincinnati chili, says they will see Lawler this Sunday at the flea market. So that's probably some payback for Jim Ross stating that Diesel and Razor Ramon were going to be on Raw, and they had everyone over at WCW in an uproar. Are you still with the WWF? And Nash and Hall are trying to tell him no. So I'm sure that's what this pertains to. But yeah, they tried to frame it like Jerry Lawler helped them sell this show at his old stomping grounds, where he used to basically run Memphis Championship Wrestling. So interesting to see. Something they don't bring up much when they're talking about the Monday Night War and all the WWE documentaries.
No, because they don't like to get egg on their face. Vince doesn't like to look stupid. Nobody can get over on me.
Yeah, they have their approved talking points. Well, bring up fake Diesel and Razor and the billionaire Ted skits and let them know that Eric Bischoff gave away the results, but ended up eating shit when they mentioned Mankind would win the title.
See, for me, Mankind winning the title did absolutely nothing.
I was happy to see it. I just wish he got a better reign. Like he was towards the end of his career there. And
yeah, I was never that big of a Foley. I can't even pretend I was. I was never that big of a Mick Foley fan.
Especially at the time, I was a bigger fan of him than I was The Rock. I really didn't like it took me a minute to get out of my die Rocky die phase. Like, and I still don't think I'm all the way there. So just to see him take the title off The Rock, yeah.
I like The Rock. His promos are like the best.
They're great, but one thing, and shout out to Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers, because I heard him say the same before. You know, people are like, well, you know, The Rock and Austin were on the same level. No, they weren't. And The Rock did a great job of covering when Austin was out injured, and The Rock is talented. He deserved to be a number one guy in that company, and he was. But Steve Austin was just something else. And, you know, he may have been around for a less amount of time due to certain injuries, but dude was burning brighter than Hogan ever did.
Yeah.
Hogan was just lucky he didn't injure himself, didn't really go all out in the ring like he can, and Hogan does have talent. He can wrestle. He just chose not to, and it's kind of the same thing with The Rock. The Rock didn't like to put his body out there too much, and there's something to be said for that, because they're still out there having matches, or could be, you know. Did you guys hear that Ric Flair's trying to step back in the ring?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make that not happen. Like one of the old commentators at WCW was like, you know, let's call the insurance company and get them to not bond the show, because this is coming from a place of love. But he's training with Scorpio or
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal. I was gonna say Scorpio Sky. But it's like he's old. He shouldn't be in the ring anymore. And I kind of agree. Like when Jerry Lawler had the heart attack and a year later he's wrestling in Puerto Rico, it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Apparently, Ricky Steamboat is coming out of retirement too. Because I was reading this. Ricky Steamboat is going to come in, and it's going to be, I want to say FTR and Ric Flair, and then Ricky Steamboat is with another tag team, and they're gonna have like a back and forth thing.
I just don't like that. I'm sorry, but
I think the dude can still go. Yeah, some of the the footage that I've seen of him and Jay Lethal, dude, he still got it.
Dude, but his health, like,
Yeah.
okay, here's the thing, like, Flair and I know seeing Stone Cold probably
Hail 24
in
hours.
what's up, bro? Hail 24 eyes. No, I'm sure seeing Stone Cold come out embolden him, but Flair's what, 73, something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know. How old is he?
Austin's what, 57. I mean, there's
Yeah, he's 73. Shit.
yeah.
Their opponents will be the Rock and Roll Express and someone else, which is probably going to be Steamboat with the Rock and Roll Express or some shit.
So you're talking Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson,
Yeah,
for the Rock and Roll Express. Neither of them died yet, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I wonder if Ricky still got his mullet.
Rick the Ram Flair. Like,
But it'll be at MLW Super Fight, which is
Major League Wrestling.
which is totally worth it, getting in the ring at 73 for. Good job, man. I don't think he should just shake his dick at airline stewardesses.
hold on. It'll be a Jim Crockett Promotion StarCast event in Nashville, Tennessee on July 31st.
Jesus. Don't do it, Flair. Come on, man. Like it kind of makes me it's a little fucked up because who had a more beautiful retirement than Ric Flair? Wrestling with Shawn Michaels and
him and Shawn.
And then a month later he's over in Impact Wrestling. Like, come on, motherfucker.
It's shit. Over in Impact was great with him and Lethal.
Oh yeah, dude, that was the shit.
They gave him a storybook ending to his career.
Yep.
After people were unsure. Hale Carl says Gibson died.
Did he?
Robert Gibson? I wasn't aware he died, honestly.
Martin is around with his son.
Yeah, see, I don't keep up on some of them cats anymore.
They gave Flair a storybook ending when it wasn't sure, when he first went into WWE and they talk about it, he was a little not himself. And then one thing I'll give Triple H credit for, he kind of fucking took Flair and, kind of was the wind beneath his wings for a little while there and showed Flair he still had worth and he still meant something. And that whole storyline was great where McMahon's like, well, the next match you lose, you're fired. Mm-hmm. And Flair's just like pulling out victories and being the dirtiest player in the game and just gave us that one last great run. Mm-hmm. And then fucking that WrestleMania match with him and Shawn. And Shawn's just, dude, I'm sorry. And Shawn's getting ready to retire in the next few years, but here he is wrestling the greatest of all time, and puts him away, pins him, and Flair's crying. The fans are fucking cheering. And again, like fucking next thing you know, he's over in Impact Wrestling. Like, dude. And it's his life. He can do what he wants.
I say let the dude do what he loves.
It's just like
let it do it until he's dead.
I don't, dude, it's sad. It's like watching that old dog, try to walk around the yard when it can't barely walk, it can't see. It's just like, man, just you should have rode off into the sun. What do I say about this punk ass business? It is the most cruel mistress that it never leaves you. It never leaves you. Once I'm itching to get back. It's been 5 years since I've been in the ring.
Sting's still going hard, and he's like up there too. So it's like,
yes.
I'm fine if Ric Flair comes back in a limited capacity, like what Sting does. Like, he doesn't always wrestle. He doesn't always do shit. He's like a manager, basically. He'll do a spot here and there, and that's about it. And I think that's what Flair should do, honestly. If he loves the business so much, he should kind of just be a manager, do some spots here and there, and that be it.
There's probably there's probably a connection there too, just given his past and him being, kidnapped when he was a kid and never knowing his real parents. And, wrestling probably fills a certain void for him. Dude, so I can't.
Think about that, man. In the 80s, in the 70s, that motherfucker was on top of the world. Mm-hmm. That limo riding, jet plane, that shit was legit. They lived that life.
Yeah.
He lived that life, man. Rick, that you'll never see that again. You'll never ever see wrestling. Those days are so far gone. It's sad. It's sad. These fucking dudes ain't. That's the thing. Like these guys ain't even out chasing rats around. They're playing Nintendo Switch and shit in the hotel rooms. They're not even partying. It's like these motherfuckers
bitching about women's rights.
Yeah.
So let's jump back into this. Our next match, where did we leave off? Yeah, so they threw a little shade at Jerry Lawler, pretended like he had helped them book this WCW Nitro at a very tumultuous time for the relationship between WWF and WCW. So Hugh Morris is out next, and he defeats Jim Powers, who is with his manager Teddy Long. Hugh Morris defeated Jim Powers with the no laughing matter in 6 minutes 34 seconds, and they went ahead and played up because Nick Patrick, he's got more going on right now than any of the wrestlers. Like, not only is he finding Macho Man and dealing with that and screwing over other babyface wrestlers, but he's also got a little feud going on with Teddy Long. So him and Teddy Long have words before the match, and then at one point, was it a long count? I know Teddy Long almost had Hugh Morris defeated, and Nick Patrick fucked up the count. I think it was a long count. Yeah, a botched 3 count. So Powers almost had the match won. Nick Patrick fucked up the 3 count. Then Hugh Morris recovers, hits the no laughing matter. Then Nick Patrick hits the 3 count fine. So Teddy Long is pissed at this point. 6-man tag play pissed. And him and then
you gotta face the Undertaker.
Yeah. Nick Patrick, you gotta face the Undertaker in a 6-man tag.
All Undertakers. You and 5 Undertakers.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, Patrick was wearing his neck brace, but he wasn't wearing it last night during WCW Pro. So
when he had a hockey mask on.
Yeah. That was Saturday night. Yeah, that was WCW Saturday night. He came out with a hockey mask on and an NWO shirt. Like, that wasn't me. It was very, very Mr. America vibes there.
It was Pick Natrick, not Nick Patrick.
Yeah.
It was Pick
That's
Natrick.
his evil twin.
So next up,
he curls a little mustache. He's got the dog going.
I think Nick Patrick is Walu Gazy, but that's just me, you know.
What a Walu Gazy.
Yes. So next up, we have Draven's uncle, the total package Lex Luger.
Oh, goddamn.
Driver runs around, go like this, like, what are you doing? You gonna torture rack somebody? It's like, no, I'm trying to fly away, motherfucker. I'm trying to turn into a bat. Leave me alone.
Screaming in his face, I am sick and tired of playing with kids.
Did you?
Oh, that's great. Hey, Vinny.
What up, guys?
Hey, Vinny. What's going on, brother?
Vinny heard Lex Luger and popped right in.
Uh-oh.
I torture rack Trey the other day.
Oh, no.
I was watching Nitro and Luger was wrestling. I was all like, his music hit. I was all amped up. I'm like, I started doing it. Trey's like, what? I'm like, come here, and I just scooped him up in the rack. I'm like, tap out. I'm like, you're heavy, tap out.
Holy crap.
How are you doing tonight, bro?
Can always be better. The family's going to be visiting a surprise visit tomorrow from people out of town that I don't like.
Oh, fun.
Fun.
Always fun, ain't it?
Yes.
Right.
So we're just we're still in the first hour of Nitro right now. We've just had a couple matches here in Wall Street versus Duggan, Malenko versus Brad Armstrong. Then we just got done covering Hugh Morris defeating Jim Powers. One thing you may have missed, the past few weeks on WWF TV, JR was, Diesel and Razor Ramon are going to be here. They're going to be here. And freak WCW out, and then the fake ones show up. So WCW fires back tonight. They're in the Mid-South Coliseum, which is Jerry Lawler's old stomping grounds. And Tony Schiavone takes time out to thank Mr. Lawler for helping them book this match here in the Mid-South Coliseum, where they've got the biggest wrestling crowd for any event ever, any wrestling event ever in the Mid-South Coliseum. Nitro has it. So thank you, Jerry Lawler. And we'll see you this Sunday at the flea market, is what the commentators said. So a little retribution, a little payback. Yeah. So
that's a receipt right there. He had that one coming.
Yeah. So when he first started saying it, he was like, I want to thank Mr. Lawler for helping us. I'm like, did he say Lawler? And then Larry Zbyszko's like, Larry Zbyszko will see you at the flea market. It's like, I'm not a huge Lawler fan, but definitely a bigger Lawler fan than a Larry Zbyszko fan.
Yeah,
right.
How dare you speak ill of Larry Legend?
He's just like, he's like the Craig T. Nelson of wrestling. I don't know.
Larry Laugher.
So we get we're just talking about Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels and how that was kind of a dream match, the older generation versus the younger. Well, we get that here in Lex Luger versus Greg Valentine.
Oh my God. Greg Valentine looked like a homeless drunk that stumbled out of a fucking bar at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
or a cat lady.
He looks like
he's an old angry lesbian gym teacher.
He looks like Bridget Fonda, like.
But he's looked like that for a majority of his career.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like a fat Triple H almost, like.
Yeah.
Triple H if he never did the juice.
Yeah.
All right, that's Triple H if he never did the juice.
It's like Hacksaw and Triple H had a baby,
Oh.
So, yeah, Lex Luger.
Stairs and by God.
Lex Luger, I mean, he tried. He just couldn't defeat Greg Valentine. No, I'm kidding. Lex Luger actually does defeat Greg Valentine. Possibly the only submission victory of the night. We'll check on that. But the first one so far via torture rack, which that was always a fun finisher. Not just to watch, but fucking wrestling around with your friends and shit. It was fun putting someone in the torture rack. So,
dude, and the crowd always popped for it too. Like the crowd
was getting heat back then. He really was.
Think about it. He'd been like when he left and went to WWF. That was huge because he was an NWA guy from him and Sting were tagging together back in the 80s still at one point.
Yeah.
Back when they were playing around with kids.
Yeah, he'd been playing around with kids for a hot minute.
So
now Sting was Darby.
He was hanging out with Kevin Spacey. Where's the gash?
Ron Perlman and Jerry the King Lawler walk into Disneyland, and they go, "Hey, where's the Small World ride?" And Ron Perlman goes, "It's over there. Come on, puppies,
hilarious.
Gash, puppies, Gash."
Yeah, Lex Luger versus Gash Valentine. And Hail Glenzer, Hail Keely Chow, it's great to see you. If I missed your name in the chat, hail to everybody. Fucking love your faces and thank you. Like everyone being here, it means the world. So, yeah.
I think Hercules did use the I liked Hercules Hernandez, man. I like him and Paul Roma, Power and Glory.
Don the Rock Morocco, the real Rock.
The real Rock.
Yes. So during the Luger and Greg Valentine match, Arn Anderson is fingering his chin in the backstage area, watching the match on a monitor. He's going to be facing Lex Luger at Halloween Havoc. And then after that was shown, still during the match, very similar to last week, just without the outsiders, but DiBiase and Vincent arrive in the stands. No promo. They're just out there to intimidate. And check you guys are going to love this. For only the 15th week in a row, Zbyszko refers to the NWO as the New World Order. And then Tony Schiavone kind of snapped at that point and started beating the living legend with a piece of rebar until Larry Zbyszko was unconscious, and then he stuffed heaping mounds of Cincinnati 5-alarm chili down Larry Zbyszko's throat, and yeah, Zbyszko was just unconscious, yearning for the sweet kiss of oxygen to his lungs as he slowly faded away.
God damn.
So... yeah, Zbyszko called Sting. They talked about Sting a little bit during this match too, and they want Sting to come back and lead WCW.
Yeah,
Zbyszko called Sting a spoiled brat during the match. Well, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, Larry. You sound like my dickhole uncle, you prick.
I'll make that crow land on your head when I come back.
Well, we got the New World Order, Tony. Yeah, Larry, it wasn't funny the first fucking 18 times you said it, Larry. Shut the fuck up.
He's still probably going around saying it. Like, is Zbyszko still alive, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Who asked the question? Yes, Glinzer. He did use the torture rack. It was he just didn't call it the torture rack, but that's what his finisher was the torture rack. Stairs and oh my gosh. I need to put Perlman's face on JR.
That's not barbecue sauce.
Oh God. Don't tell me, Ron. It's gash sauce.
Yeah. Piss on my hand, Perlman.
I'll show you, Blumph.
Yeah.
Don't punch out the guy. Pee on your hand.
So after what's up, bro?
I was gonna say that's probably how he got his next role.
Yeah.
Weinstein's like, I like piss hands. Okay, I'll be right back.
He's like super scrawny now, Larry Zbyszko. I shared a photo of him.
Here, let's take a look. Oh, bitch ass Zbyszko.
He's like super scrawny.
He's I don't know. I just feel like he has some skeletons in his closet.
Probably.
Like there's something going on under the Tommy Bahama.
Maybe. I wonder if he wakes up in the middle of the night and says the New World Order.
He's the only skinny guy that wears those kind of shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Those are usually big guy shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. So, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviews Nick Patrick as we start to head into hour 2. And Nick Patrick states that Macho Man will be fined. Or no, Schiavone states to Nick Patrick that Macho Man will be fined, but it won't be $1 million. It will be $500. Plus, Macho Man will miss his first 5 matches of 1997. Nick Patrick is upset with this and said it's not over. But Schiavone showed the footage that was mentioned earlier of a masked referee in an NWO shirt on WCW Saturday Night. That was obviously Nick Patrick, but Patrick claims it was Randy Anderson. It's kind of been Randy Anderson's been calling Nick Patrick out on his shit lately. So with that, we go into hour 2 over on WWF Raw. Your commentators are Jim Ross and Kevin Kelly. Jerry Lawler's off preparing for his match against Jake the Snake Roberts tonight, and the announcers inform us that Vince McMahon, damn it, will be back at the commentator's booth next week, and Jim Ross isn't happy. He's had beef with Vince McMahon lately, dragging up the past. McMahon's fired him twice. He fired him 9 days after his Bell's palsy, and JR feels for Kevin Kelly. Jim Ross says he's the executive producer and he doesn't give a damn. He doesn't work for Kevin Dunn or Vince McMahon, and he will be there next week, even if Kevin Kelly won't. Kevin Kelly was like, well, why don't you be more of a team player, you know? And Jim Ross is like, I was a team player, and then I got fired twice. So Jim is going to show up next week and do his damn job, which makes it all the funnier at the pay-per-view because they do have a technical difficulty that plays well into what JR is doing right now. And we'll get there in a little bit. So Raw, exciting start to Raw with Vader defeating Phineas Godwin.
That was a barn burner match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just, all the reason to tune in. Vince is like, if we're at war, damn it, get me Phineas Godwin.
Stop this.
Where's that guy, Sparkplug? Don't we have Max Moon somewhere? No, sir. He left and went to WCW. He's now named Conan. Well, listen, pal. I was going to send him straight through the stratosphere. Get it? That's why I called him Max Moon.
Get me one of those Doink the Clowns.
Where's Matt Bourne? He'll play Doink and get the little fuckers too, the dinks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we here at the World Wrestling Federation believe our television audience is tired of being entertained. If you're looking for the biggest stars in the industry, compelling storylines, fast-paced, high-flying action, you may as well switch over to Ted Turner's Bitch Baby, WCW. But here in the World Wrestling Federation, we believe in making fun of alcoholic, stereotypical, non-relatable characters, and Aldo Montoya. Now, since tonight's episode of Raw is pre-taped, we obviously have the likes of the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Owen Hart, The Undertaker, British Bulldog, Mankind, Mr. Perfect, or even Bret Hart, backstage or at our disposal. But damn it, the people paid good money to find out who the real Double J is.
Oh, son of a bitch!
By God. By God, Vince McMahon, you son of a bitch.
You fired me after 9 days and then made me tell the world about Owen Hart.
I'm not kissing your ass, Vince, you son of a bitch.
So,
Kiss my barbecue sauce.
Basically, to combat, as you mentioned, Etep, the barn burner that was Vader and Phineas Godwin, over on Nitro. Number one, our new commentators for Hour 2. It's Eric Bischoff, Bobby Heenan, and Mike Tenay. Except Bischoff's going to join the team here in a little while as he has a interview to conduct. Now, the following match is Randy Savage versus Mike Enos. That basically goes to a no contest as there is no match taking place. Bischoff is down by the ramp and wants to interview Randy Savage before his match. The crowd's going apeshit for Randy Savage. He's heading into face Hollywood Hogan for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship at Halloween Havoc in about 2 weeks. And Macho Man comes out again. The crowd's going apeshit. He says he heard that Hollywood Hogan is in the building and Hogan needs to get his ass out there so Randy Savage can kick it. Let's do Halloween Havoc tonight. Bischoff, on a more sour note, mentions Miss Elizabeth has been trying to get a hold of Randy Savage after just months, before Elizabeth started kind of, hanging out with the NWO a little bit. she was with the Four Horsemen, spending Randy Savage's money and trying to tick him off for basically a little over a year now. So now she's apologetic. She's trying to say sorry to Randy. He's not wanting to hear it. So she made a tape where she's alone at their special spot. She's basically at the place where he made a little tire swing for her, hanging off of a tree, you know, and she's kind of swinging on the tire, talking to Randy, saying she's been trying to get his attention. This is all she knows to do. She's sorry, and that sorry will never be enough. She did a lot of horrible things to Randy Savage out of anger, and she was a coward for that. She doesn't know if she was doing those things just to get his attention, but yeah, now she's in their special spot on the swing that he had built for her, where they shared everything, and she's all alone again. And if there's anything she could do to change that, she would. Elizabeth states that she is truly sorry and wishes Randy would forgive her for the things that she's done. She has to live with the bad choices that she's made, not for long. And one of those worst choices she made is signing with Hollywood Hogan, which I think is the first time she's officially admitted she is signed with the NWO. She's lost and she needs Randy Savage. Elizabeth then begins to cry and states she's all alone again. And she feels the same way about Randy Savage as right now as when they first said I do. So we go back to Bischoff and Savage on the stage. Bischoff says that Macho Man needs to respond to her, but Macho Man is obviously upset at this point. He's kind of pacing back and forth around the entryway and, you know, makes it about halfway to the ring and then just turns around and walks backstage. Bischoff is following him, pleading with Randy Savage to respond, but Macho Man gets in a limo and drives away from the arena. So, and we had that versus Phineas, Godwin, and Vader, you know, so whatever your poison is, but
right. A little bit of soap opera or Phineas Cage.
Yeah.
I'll take the soap opera over. My God.
And you know, that was an interesting, you know, it was soap opera-ish, but it was definitely, you know, compelling, I guess.
Yeah. Well, in comparison, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rivet.
So next we get
God. Let me get my popcorn.
My
son
God.
of a bitch. So Jim Ross is in the ring over on Raw, and he announces Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect will be making his return to the ring on Raw next week to face Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Perfect has been taking Helmsley's escorts lately, and Hunter isn't happy about it. Jim asks Mr. Perfect if he will be ready to go, and Mr. Perfect says he is in perfect condition, without a flaw, and he's going to get in the ring and do what he does best, and that's getting the job done.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfectly. Jim Ross asks about ring rust, but there's only one Mr. Perfect. He's the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever and the greatest athlete the WWF has ever signed. And next week, he's going to prove it. So,
did they ever give him the world title?
No.
Wow.
I don't think he won it in WCW either, which is...
That's a sin.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. Damn.
Lawler comes out next. He comes out to the ring and begins riffing Jake Roberts. And we go to a commercial and come back, and Lawler's been talking the whole fucking time. JR's back on commentary, bitching about McMahon, while Lawler's in the ring bitching about Jake Roberts. And no crowd reaction. The crowd's just kind of dead. And you got to think this is the same crowd for the past 3 weeks at this point. It's late in the night. They're fucking tired. And Jerry Lawler's on the mic with his fucking sense of humor that no one finds funny. And then on top of that, he's talking about Jake Roberts' addiction issues and shit. So, like, it's more of an uncomfortable vibe from the crowd than anything.
Yeah.
So Jake Roberts' music hits, and he comes stumbling out of the back. He's got a bottle and a brown bag in his hand, and he's just fucking barely making his way to the ring. He looks drunk. Gorilla Monsoon comes down. He tries to get Roberts not to wrestle, but Jerry Lawler's so busy talking shit on the mic that Roberts kind of turns around to Gorilla Monsoon like, trust me, I got this, you know, and we realize it's a ploy. He's not really, supposedly not really drunk, but we all know he was. No, he wasn't really drunk, so the fucking bell rings. Lawler thinks it's going to be a walk in the park, and literally in one move, under 10 seconds, Jake Roberts DDTs Jerry Lawler, makes the pinfall. After that, he pours the bottle of liquor that he had in his hand all over Jerry Lawler. Then he takes out Damien, and he's like fucking choking Lawler with the snake, and you know, just gets his comeuppance. So, which is a little weird. I would have saved that for the pay-per-view, but whatever. They need the ratings. So, over on Nitro, so you know, I don't know if that's the end of this Lawler Roberts feud, but yeah, Roberts got some comeuppance after like months of Jerry Lawler talking shit about his alcoholism. So, yeah, over
At
on
least he wasn't calling him a fucking crackhead.
yeah, right. So. Over on Nitro, Bobby Heenan's kind of giving Bischoff, who's now back at commentary, he's giving Bischoff the business. Like, what the hell are you doing showing Randy Savage that, you know, not just before his match tonight, but less than 2 weeks before Savage represents WCW and goes against Hogan. And we can kind of see that Bischoff is, benefit of hindsight. We see what Bischoff is doing here, you know, for the NWO. By getting in Randy Savage's head, making him think about the one thing he loves.
Yep.
And Heenan says, you know, this is why you never mix business with love. So, in the ring, Eddie Guerrero defeats the Cheetah Kid via frog splash in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. But before the match, Guerrero cut a pre-taped promo calling Diamond Dallas Page a one-move wrestler. He's defeated DDP before, and when he did, Page attacked him from behind, and he can break Guerrero's bones, but Page can't break Eddie's spirit. And at Halloween Havoc, Eddie's going to cunt punch DDP. Then after the match, Eddie's just all hyped up, yelling this thing between him and Page is personal now. So they're just, you know, hyping that a little bit. Page versus DDP at the pay-per-view here in a few weeks. So, overall, what do you guys think of this angle right now? Because, you know, you got to see these both feud in their prime would have been something to see. Eddie Guerrero and Diamond Dallas Page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know, what do you guys think about this, how this angle's played out, you know, over the past about 2 months, you know?
I like it because you've had Chavo involved, too. Haven't we at this point? Yeah, Chavo's been involved.
Page and Chavo wrestled at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought they worked a pay-per-view match. Yeah, Fall Brawl. So I like it. I always liked, I was not a massive Guerrero fan, but I liked him. I mean, I liked him, and I respected his work, and I thought his gimmick was so over in WCW, especially when he fully embraced the heel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and stop trying to be a nice guy like he was back in '95 when he was teaming with Alex Wright. You know, and Page and him worked really well together, even with their contrast in styles. So I like I said, I enjoyed it because these two were, you know, they're quintessential WCW guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of skill.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll never get over, like, the problem WWF had with the Invasion was that they didn't have enough marquee names, and then they fucking get Diamond Dallas Page and treat him horribly.
Yeah,
Book
he
him
could have been
horribly.
the he could have been the face, dude. You had him and Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said it a million times. You have JR. Only one man got a break in WCW at that time, and that was Bill Goldberg. Bullshit. DDP was on fucking fire, and it wasn't contrived. Like, he did it the right way. He got over with the fans.
Yeah. Well, I think that stroke also affected his brain. One man, that's it. Yeah, that's why WCW were kicking your ass the entire time. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Thank you. So, over on and this is funny. They kind of, you know, there's going to be more shit slung at WWF tonight from the other side because of this. We get another pointless Real Double J package over on fucking Raw. They're like more invested in this than anything else, and it's like no one cares.
This is when I fell asleep during, I think.
Yeah, well,
I don't know, dude. These Double J segments put me to sleep. Seriously.
So, yeah, it's fucking cringe. But no worries, Vinny. They're gonna re-record my baby tonight with Jesse James. Now that everyone knows it's him, so no worries there. And
excellent. Phew.
Yeah. And they also let us know next week we're getting more of Who's the Real Double J. In the ring, Freddie Joe Floyd, baby, defeats Hunter Hearst Helmsley via countout in 4 minutes and 6 seconds. And that's right, Freddie Joe Floyd defeats Triple H because Mr. Perfect comes out again, steals Hunter's escort, but this time Helmsley chases after Mr. Perfect and gets punched in his fucking nose for his efforts. Like, man, that looked like a punch, dude. Mr. Perfect nailed this dude. And Hunter wasn't able to recover in time. He was fucked up on the stage. He got counted out, and Freddie Joe Floyd will forever hold a victory over Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I got one win, baby.
Now who can't breathe?
I scored. I put my knee on his neck, and I said, "Take that, Triple H."
Triple H.
Know where to get some fentanyl, Hunter?
Hey, Hunter, I know you know where to get that gear, you puffy bastard. Where's the fentanyl? You're holding out the good stuff, baby.
I know a crooked cop. He carries all the time.
It's like Freddie Joe Floyd and Jake Roberts are hanging out together in the back. Their own clique. So, one of the bright spots of the night, Stone Cold Steve Austin is backstage and says since he can't whip Bret Hart's ass, he's gonna whip, because tonight, first time ever, Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin says since he can't whoop Bret Hart's ass, he's gonna whip the ass of the man who whipped Bret's ass at WrestleMania. He's gonna kick the shit out of Shawn Michaels tonight. So exciting. And it's a hell of a match too, because by the time WrestleMania 14 hits, both Austin and Michaels were very much injured. But tonight they can both go. They can both wrestle. And I still say if Austin wasn't injured at SummerSlam 97, he would have been wrestling well into the 2010s. I mean, that dude could fucking go. So over on Nitro, Jeff Jarrett, who's in his hometown, I won't say his hometown, but where he really came to prominence in Memphis. Jeff Jarrett wrestles Big Bubba with Jimmy Hart. He does defeat Big Bubba via pinfall in 6 minutes 43 seconds when Jimmy Hart throws Bubba the microphone and Jeff Jarrett basically drop kicks it into his face, makes the pin. During the match, Bischoff is saying that Jarrett can't sing a lick, but who cares? And later calls him, Jeff, I never said I could sing Jarrett. Just really bagging on the WWF over this real fucking Double J angle. It's awful. So Jarrett probably had one of the best crowd reactions I've ever heard him receive. I mean, the Memphis crowd was hot for him. They were chanting Double J. They were hooked on every move. You know, he's the hometown hero. They were really all over Jeff Jarrett, so good for him. After the match, Shivani interviews Double J, and Jarrett says he appreciates the tradition of WCW. That's something that keeps calling him fucking Hulk Hogan. It's Hollywood Hogan, you dumb hick. He says it's something that Hogan and the NWO don't appreciate. And on WCW Saturday night, Jarrett did ask to wrestle the Giant at Halloween Havoc as Flair's out of action. It was supposed to be Flair versus the Giant. So Jarrett wants to take his place, and the match has been granted because last week when they played up the angle of the NWO putting Ric Flair out of action, I guess Giant just took the U.S. title. So it looks like that match is going to be for the U.S. title. That's like, this is his second title reign where Giant hasn't even won the title. He's just like, I'm taking it from him. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? So I guess this will be for the U.S. Championship. Jarrett says he's going to slap the figure 4 on the Giant and the rest of the NWO, and they will learn to respect WCW and Ric Flair, and they will learn to respect Jeff Jarrett. So, good times. Over on Raw, Sunny makes her way out to do color commentary, does a quick segment in the ring, drops that big like poster of Sunny. Larry just says a call, this is the newest, hottest thing in the WWF, me, and then she gets on color commentary, and we get a quick vignette of Mankind in the same cemetery, and this time he's like rocking back and forth in the grave and said that he had a vision and it'll be Undertaker in the grave this Sunday, gasping for breath only to find cold soil filling his lungs. So, and now the next match, and this is why Sunny came out, she's representing Farouk right now, so for motherfucking Rook defeats Alex Porto.
No, wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. How dare you talk about the pug, Alex Porto, right here, with the best deep arm drag ever. Yeah. Take that, Alex, right? That's Alex motherfucking Porto, the pug.
That's funny.
Yeah. He's kind of a big deal. He won the Transcontinental Scandinavian Heavyweight Championship 17 fucking times. But, please, let's put Farouk over on him. Look at him. He's begging Blake, bud.
Goddamn.
He's sued. Oh, look at this guy. He's sued. He's sued to be
sure. Racism. Sure. Etep. Sure. Can't see me.
He's sued to be heavyweight champion.
Half the brains that you do. She's so. I don't know.
I have half
Speaking
the
of
brains that you do.
Speaking of racism,
And I have half the brain that you do.
I just said all he's got going for him is he's a big black guy. That's all he's got, bud.
yeah, Farouk and what's his name? What's the guy that was out for the kidney? I forget his name because he's
Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson. They're like, you're being or you're talking about being racist to one another because they wouldn't let the other one win or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
This is the worst angle for Rook and Ahmed Johnson. Like, who cares?
Don't ever let Farouk talk unless he's just gonna say damn.
Yes.
Exactly. He had a good look. He's got some muscle on him. Good for him. He could never do a fucking promo.
He works stiff as shit in the ring too. Like him and Bradshaw were like dicks. They just beat the hell out of people.
They were the perfect tag team.
It
they
looked
were.
good, though.
APA was amazing.
Do you guys want to see a few seconds of Farouk and Ahmed Johnson's promo from the pay-per-view?
Sure.
Yes.
You've got to do better.
Pretty much.
I was gonna say, Etep, pass me over some of those edibles. Okay, Tony, roll it. Oh shit.
So
Do better. Damn.
Almond
Damn.
Johnson.
Damn.
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 I knew
so
his nephew,
yeah,
also a dick.
Chadwick Boseman.
No. Oh shit.
It was Michael B. Jordan bad.
So
Or Idris Elba.
Farouk defeats the Pale
Don
Fade.
Cheeto. God damn.
Yeah, Don Cheeto is his beta fucking nephew that disappointed the family.
I'm fighting
Where's
the
my-
urge, bitches.
Where's my
Sure, Tony.
Where's-
Sure.
where's my mask and my Yankees hat? Hove.
Fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
they should, Don Cheadle should play Jay-Z in the fucking movie they eventually make about him. Yes. So
He doesn't look like he's got downsies though.
they could, whatever. De-age his face, but like Down syndrome instead of age. I don't know. So, Farouk defeats Alex Porto via the Dominator in 2 minutes and 3 seconds, and then him and Ahmed Johnson.
No respect.
No
respect.
a fucking segment. It's just it's whatever. It's whatever. So over on Nitro, we get a non-title match. It was supposed to be a tag match, but Harlem Heat has refused to put the title on the line until Halloween Havoc, when they go against the Outsiders. Tag champions Harlem Heat with Sister Sherry and Colonel Parker versus the Faces of Fear goes to a no contest when the Outsiders come through the stands and try to, hop over the barrier, and they've got spray paint in their hands, which this is my thing. They're going after Harlem Heat and they got black spray paint in their hands. Shouldn't they have white spray paint? Never mind.
What would you think?
I'm just saying.
Then you can really make him look like a skunk.
So, basically, and this is pretty cool to see the Faces of Fear and Harlem Heat basically have each other's back. They don't let the Outsiders over the barriers. They stand together as WCW. And it's kind of a uniting moment to give people hope in WCW. This is a busy match because also during the match, the Faces of Fear are going to be wrestling a tag match versus Chris Benoit and Steve Mongo McMichael. They must be playing up this angle off of Nitro, maybe on Saturday night or something. But Mongo and Benoit are all pissed and acting heated. And I'm like, just what happened here? I just thought it was going to be some random match on the card, but apparently there's some heat between the two lower horsemen and the Faces of Fear. They basically hyped up both of those matches. Harlem Heat and the Outsiders and the Faces of Fear versus the Horsemen. They hyped both of those up for Halloween Havoc. And before we go to the commercial for this segment, Bischoff says that WCW needs a leader, and Sting, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please be that leader. So it's been over a month since we've seen Sting now, since he declared himself a free agent and turned his back to the camera and to the WCW and kind of walked off. So over on Raw, we have Undertaker doing his vignette in the cemetery. Somehow there's reverb on his voice when there hadn't been this entire time, but I guess it's the power of the dark side. He tells mankind to try to imagine what it will be like to never rest in peace. And 25 unprotected shots to the head will do that to you, by the way.
It was nice knowing you. I don't remember anything.
God, man, like
lost. He was getting lost walking 2 blocks away from his home.
yeah, well, and that's why he's woke. It only makes sense. How else would your worldview be after fucking having a tooth go through your nose? So, this will be the last thing mankind ever sees, says the Undertaker, as the camera switches to like inside of the grave, like a POV shot of inside of the grave, and Taker starts burying dirt over the camera. So, finally, we are at the Raw main event. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I suggest, anyone go back and watch this again. This is October 14th, 1996. Most of Raw wasn't worth a fuck, but I suggest fast forwarding to the main event. It's only 6 minutes and 22 seconds, but I mean, it feels longer, but in a good way. They were able to pack so much into this match. What did you think of this match, Draven?
I liked it. It was nice to see, like, over the past couple weeks, Stone Cold, like, finally becoming what we know him to be, basically, for the most part. It was just an all around good match. Just getting to see Stone Cold in action. But yeah,
I'll tell you the moment that really solidified to me that they're planning on pushing this guy. Other than they put him up against the World Heavyweight Champion in a non-title match, and again, I've seen their WrestleMania 14 match. I've seen their King of the Ring match, the King of the Ring 97, I believe. This was interesting. It was a fun match, and you gotta think this is after the house show circuit where they were in South Africa, and Steve Austin wrestled a couple rounds with Bret Hart, so he's only getting better. He's just damn good in the ring, damn good. Like, you forget how good he was because he had to switch it up to more of a brawler style after got his neck broke, which is just a shame because this guy could go. If he had these skills plus that just momentum of being Stone Cold Steve Austin, there's no doubt in my mind, there wouldn't be a debate who the greatest wrestler ever was.
Oh, yeah.
Dude could go.
yeah,
So
for sure.
this match ends in DQ. Shawn Michaels officially wins the match over Austin via DQ. When Vader interferes, he doesn't feel like he should have to wrestle Sid for a number one contendership. So Steve Austin and Vader kind of gang up on HBK, who holds his own for a moment. Now, here's how I know they're getting serious about Austin, other than teasing the Bret Hart thing. Savio Vega, who's supposed to wrestle Austin at the In Your House Buried Alive, he runs out to make the save for fucking Shawn Michaels. And I mean, literally, he barely got any screen time and definitely no ring time. He runs out. Austin just fucking walks up to him just effortlessly and fucking stuns him.
Nice.
Just nope. Fucking stuns the shit out of Savio Vega like he's not even in his league anymore. So then Sid runs out to help, and Austin and Michaels end up throwing Sid and Michaels end up throwing Austin and Vader out of the ring. During this, Fake Razor and Fake Diesel are standing on the ramp just observing what are they doing out there kind of thing.
So fucking dumb.
Yeah. So, and that's what it is. The heels get cleared from the ring, and Shawn and Sid celebrate as the commentators Oh, and this is another thing, too. The commentators kept billing Stone Cold Steve Austin versus HBK as the biggest main event in Raw's history. So they're really starting to get behind Steve Austin, and it's interesting to see. So, and that's basically how Raw goes off the air. Sid and Michaels get rid of Austin and Vader, and the good guys are just, yay, celebrating in the ring as we go off the air and get ready for the pay-per-view here coming up. So the WCW main event technically Harlem Heat, no, the Faces of Fear were the main event, I guess, because Hollywood Hogan had been demanding some screen time all night, and this is when he's getting it. Bischoff says that if Savage is able to wrestle at Halloween Havoc, it's over for Hogan, but they don't know if he'll be able to. Elizabeth really is the catalyst in all this. So Hollywood leads the entire NWO to the ring with Elizabeth, and she looks like she's being held hostage. Her head is down. She's kind of in the middle of all them as they kind of force her out to the ring. And Hogan says this close to Halloween Havoc, after beating him up week after week, he thought that maybe Macho Man might have a little dignity left to come out and fight. Hogan said, and Hogan's kind of clean shaven right now, and he says it's because he's been filming Three Ninjas, whatever, at
Three
Mega
Ninjas.
Mountain. Yeah, the third movie. Fucking whatever at Mega Mountain.
Another
he's-
masterpiece.
Yeah. I loved the first movie. I loved the first Three Ninjas.
The
That
first
movie
one was great.
Yeah. I've got to take a major dump big time. Only Three Ninja fans would get it.
I never saw
Um,
it.
yeah.
I thought it was another Amber Heard reference. Hold on,
So-
let me beat Johnny. I gotta take a massive dump too.
Fuck, that still gets me. Johnny Depp is like, you want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy. And pops open the vintage 1997 Merlot, pours it in his $500 champagne glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy fuck. That looked like more like a bowl.
It's
Like
Yeah, it did.
glass.
I'm just saying, you fucking oversaw River Phoenix doing a fucking speedball and dying on the sidewalk outside, and this is what you call crazy?
Yeah, Merlot.
Like, I'll show you crazy. And
Why did you just grab the bottle?
yeah,
Hold on, I'll fill up my glass. Oh,
So-
shit.
Got to be a little classy and pour it in a bottle or in a
Yes.
glass.
Holy
she's
shit.
like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'll show you crazy, and he fucking fills up his glass to the proper height, and she's in there squatting on the fucking bed. Like, I don't know if you're impressing her, Johnny. I mean,
She's like, I think I got you beat. I'm crazy.
now if he took a dump in the champagne glass and threw it in her face like a drink, okay, that's pretty crazy, but yeah,
Yep.
who knows? So yeah, so even though Hogan's been filming Three Ninjas, the greatest actress in the world is Elizabeth. She was able to make Macho Man cry, and because of that, Macho doesn't deserve a title shot. But it doesn't look like Elizabeth agrees. She's looking down and feeling bad. She doesn't want to be there. So then, kind of out of nowhere, the Nasty Boys come down to the ring in the NWO shirts, and they've got these contracts in hand, and basically, yeah, Hogan says they've never done anything wrong. They watched Hogan's back the past few weeks, even though it was weird. Like, they're like, we need to talk to the Nasty Boys about something. And they were in the hotel room partying, whatever. But now they're acting like something progressed here, you know? Like, they watched Hogan's back and this and that. And it's like, I don't know. Like, the last time we saw them, they were in, like, the hotel room with you. There was no development there. But now suddenly you guys are all close and, like, they're acting like they actually did something for him. But Hogan says if there's anything he can ever do for them, just let him know. And Brian Knobbs pulls out the contract. And he's like, you know, well, you guys are showing up in limos, but, you know, where's our limos? And, you know, love you, Hogan, but the money isn't really great. And he just complained about some of the benefits of the NWO and how they're not receiving them. And then Hogan takes the mic back and says, he basically tells them, oh, you don't wear these colors unless I tell you to wear them. Like, they didn't give them those shirts. So they fucking ripped the shirts off the Nasty Boys, beat the shit out of them. Then they go back to Savage, which is just weird. You know, like, they cut off the promo to fucking end this thing with the Nasty Boys real quick. And then go back over to Savage. Hogan says the reason Savage's life fell apart was because of Hollywood, but before his marriage was destroyed, Elizabeth dreamed of Hollywood. And when Halloween Havoc is over, Hogan will still be her man. He's flying back out to Hollywood to finish his film. Elizabeth is coming with him, and he's going to take her to get her hair done and pamper her on the West Coast. They will be together night and day. And that's basically the end of the show. The Outsiders then take over the commentary table. Cut a quick promo on Harlem Heat, which they call the Hillbillies from Harlem. Then we just kind of go back to earlier in the night with Bischoff and Savage, and it just, it's playing Nitro theme as it shows fucking Savage just leaving the arena in slow motion. And yeah, what's going to happen at Halloween Havoc? So our Nitro takeaways is Jerry Lawler headed to the WCW. The Giant stole Flair's U.S. title, and Jarrett will get a chance to represent Flair at the pay-per-view. Harlem Heat and the Faces of Fear stood together tonight against the NWO. Is this a sign of unity from the WCW roster? How will Nick Patrick's little angle with Randy Savage play into the pay-per-view? And will Randy Savage actually be able to compete at Halloween Havoc after he caught Elizabeth giving Hollywood a double-fisted blowjob while wishing it was... it is just weird. So, the card so far
Chris
for
Christie and his new boyfriend?
Yeah.
At least the Nasty Boys aren't in the NWO anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The new Nasty Boys, Chris Christie and the Gay Frog. So
that fat fucking gay frog from New Jersey.
The Halloween Havoc.
He gargles balls.
It's just so weird. Who's happy to see Chris Christie? Like, the only time that guy mattered to me was during COVID when they announced Chris Christie had it, and we were finding out it was really bad for fat people. I think we all kept an eye on him then, but that was about it. Yeah.
Well, if you look in his direction, it's hard not to see a planet. Because he's so fat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that picture.
Pile of shit.
It was like two galaxies colliding, Yeah.
How did which one of those tubs? Which one of those? I was just gonna say which one of those tubs of shit decided how to orbit around the other. Did they meet like a negative magnetic attraction and bounce away like a couple of porky bouncing balls?
It's like the binary star systems, how they get caught in each other's fucking gravity and spin around each other. And
again, I'm gonna blame Doctor Strange in the multiverse. It's Jupiter collided with another Jupiter.
I don't want to know what the big red spot is on those.
Brown rings.
So, the Halloween Havoc card so far, a main event is WCW World Heavyweight Champion Hollywood Hogan defending against the Macho Man Randy Savage. We've got U.S. Champion The Giant defending against Jeff Jarrett. World Tag Team Champions Harlem Heat defending against the Outsiders. We've also got Chris Benoit and Steve Mongo McMichael versus the Faces of Fear. I hope Barbarian is just potatoes Mongo and fucking kicks him right in the mouth. I swear to God. We've got the total package. Yeah, just right in the fucking mouth. So, total package Lex Luger versus Arn Anderson. We've got Eddie Guerrero versus Diamond Dallas Page. Battle for the Lord of the Ring. And then we've got Cruiserweight Champion Rey Mysterio versus Dean Malenko, which is really Dean Malenko's rematch. He dropped the Cruiserweight Championship to Rey Mysterio the night after Bash at the Beach, the night after the NWO got together, and he's been working hard to get that rematch. Over on Raw, apparently JR is a heel again because last week he was just... And this was all taped on the same night, but he was a heel, then he wasn't a heel, then he was a heel again.
double heel turn, 3 tapings in one night.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Perfect versus Triple H next week on Raw. Also, Stone Cold continues to egg on Bret Hart. And tensions were played up between HBK and Sid and HBK and Vader. We're going to find out at the pay-per-view who will be facing Shawn Michaels at the Survivor Series. My thoughts is that Nitro definitely won this week. I mean, no doubt about it. There's just more going on, and what is going on is compelling. On Raw, there just isn't much to care about, which is, they've got half the TV time to fill. You think they'd have a little more interesting things going on, but that just isn't the case. And we're not going to go through the Buried Alive card because, well, we're just going to go through the results here in a moment. So, well, I want to go around and, Draven, who do you think won this night? And why?
Who do I think won between Undertaker and Mankind? Or
No, between Nitro and Raw this week.
Oh, okay. Definitely Nitro. Mainly because we got some more NWO stuff, and whenever they're on screen, it's usually a good thing.
Yep.
Until towards the end when it was running its course, but right now it was awesome.
I agree. And real quick, hail Greg Levitri. Good to see you. Hail Good Stuff Comic Skater. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Morningwood's right. It collided with Uranus.
Raw just feels like there's no direction. It's just like shit just happening. That makes any sense.
Like there's a few bright spots, but it's just
everything's all over the place. It's like they basically pull names out of a hat and just throw them up in the air, and wherever they land, that's who they face. Like that night.
Like Vince is depending on Sid and Vader. Like holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
he put all those eggs in that basket.
Jesus.
From the interview I saw with Sid, Sid said it too. He goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Am I the only draw you have on your roster?"
Yeah.
He literally said that to him.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So, what about you, Etep? What do you think about this week's battle between Raw and Nitro?
I think Nitro probably took it, but Raw could have, but their money segment, what do? They put Ron Simmons over on the pug. I mean, you don't put Ron Simmons, you don't put him over on the pug, bud. But no, I think Nitro won this week, probably by a full point. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my guess.
I feel so bad. I went on mute and had to run grab a drink, and I completely missed everything you said. Professionalism.
I said they shouldn't have put Ron Simmons over on the pug, bud.
It's so bad.
Got up and left again.
Fucked him in the ratings again.
Porto and for Rook. Why?
Never mind. I put it in the
What?
God, it's so bad. Yes. Those goddamn elbows. What about you, Vinny? I think we're all unanimous. But...
Yeah, I'd say Nitro.
So we're just saying Abo now.
The soap opera at the beginning alone, I think, would hold more interest than the entirety of Raw.
It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Tony, was it the last week's episode? I messaged you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I had to rewind Raw. I fell asleep. Like, it was so bad.
It's so bad.
I've been meaning to watch, but I keep fucking getting too busy with other shit. But hey, I'm glad you suffered through the Raw stuff, though.
Let's ask some of our elected officials what they thought of the match.
肖基是你的赢家。
Okay. Thank you, Nancy.
She's Ted Turner. She's also a globalist. Yeah, go Teddy. Go Teddy.
Hi, I heard my name. I'm Ted Turner. I own CNN, and I colorize the moon. I even own Casablanca. She shall, shoo shall, shoo, skip to my loo. She shall, polyester, shall shoo. It's too hot for this kind of material. She shall shoo, shall, CNN, she shall, Communist
Federal
Party,
Trade
shall
Commission.
shoo. Federal Trade Commission. She shall Hanoi Jane. She shall. Sorry for colorizing the moon. I guess.
She hopes. Really bad animation. Favorite part, carrying a man.
None of our characters wear pants. She shall.
Dude, okay. So as somebody who appreciates that kind of female form, if you're gonna make She-Hulk wouldn't skip leg day, bro. That scene right there, I'm like, okay, when she's carrying the dude, I look down at her legs, I'm like, why does she have like the same size legs I do now?
She-Hulk.
I didn't watch it.
Fuck the fuck off.
I saw the trailer, I was like,
So
Yeah, I saw it a few minutes before I hopped on. I was just like, holy shit, this is bad.
I still haven't seen it. It's just I can't. I
Do you,
can't.
do you remember The Matrix 2?
Yes.
All the rubber band bodies everywhere?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think they hired the same crew.
Mm.
It looks terrible. And I think they cut out a highly sexual joke in the trailer. It looks like she's using the dating app Tinder or something, and then she stops. A guy says something, and then like you see her eyes light up. Yeah, let's go leave. And then you see the next scene. I guess they're in her apartment, and she's carrying him in her arms.
Yep.
Like a baby.
Okay.
All right.
Nah,
Is
dude.
she like feminine like
Death-
She-Hulk, like in the comics? Or
Yeah.
is she like
She
that
didn't
man hulked out?
No. She's not trans Hulk.
Okay.
She honestly, like, Tatiana Maslany is not bad looking. The CG didn't look the best, but she doesn't look like she. It's weird. Like it's like
she still looks miscast.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of her casting either. But it's I don't know. The CG looks weird. Like
What's her
at
face
certain
from
points.
the one from Community and Glow? That brunette.
Allison Brie.
Yeah,
Allison
Allison
Brie.
Brie.
She would have
been perfect.
She's
She would have been
Dave
perfect.
Franco's wife, and I can forgive her for that, I guess.
She's
you know,
what?
Married Dave Franco.
Franco's wife.
Ugh.
I know.
Disgusting.
She's so fucking talented too. It's
She
like, what are you
is.
doing?
She's talented and she's really damn hot. She got beautiful tits.
Mhm.
Little
Oh,
applause for her tits.
Grace's trailer breakdown of She-Hulk. I liked it.
I really
My
liked it.
favorite part is when she put on the strap on.
Yeah.
So
So well shit. Yeah, no.
that's not the case here.
And the Professor Gay Hulk again. I'm just so sick of that shit.
Yeah.
And that pedo. I'm good.
Oh, so Professor Hulk is in it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Goddamn.
and Tim Roth.
Which
Yeah.
is it's a shame for him. Like you think he want to
Yep.
come back and do a movie? No, he came back to do this shitty TV series.
Yeah, and
get
Shang-Chi.
cuffed out.
Shang-Chi in this shit. Like,
Yeah,
goddamn. So
You have the Abomination still at your All right, we'll stop talking about Marvel.
But wait a minute, he wasn't. Tim Roth wasn't even in Shang. It was just the monster, the CGI monster,
Yeah.
correct?
yeah.
This,
Yep.
he's in the trailer. You see,
Yep.
Blonsky.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm
So-
saying. Like he came back for that. It's like why? It's like
Right.
a step down.
Right. So probably signed for it when Marvel was still actually worth a fuck. So
Probably.
In Your House Buried Alive. And another thing we don't really talk about is, like, I think the bigger pay-per-views like Royal Rumble and stuff, that goes a good 3 hours, but these In Your Houses are like 2-hour shows. Like, Vince ain't even charging full price for these at this time. So I watched this and it went by pretty quick, but it started off interesting. Stone Cold Steve Austin was supposed to wrestle Savio Vega, who he fucking dropped on Raw. But here's the thing with wrestling or taping so much in advance. Savio Vega's injured by this point, and they couldn't really promote another match because they have all this shit pre-taped. So we're basically going to get Triple H versus Steve Austin, which they're both heels at this point. So it's a little weird, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time Triple H and Steve Austin have wrestled, at least on TV, but I think it's the first time ever. So that's interesting to see. But before the match, Austin basically cuts a promo. He says there's not a damn thing wrong with Savio Vega, but Austin did say everyone is on his list, and tonight he's going to kick Hunter Hearst Helmsley's ass. And then he mentions that Bret Hart's going to be on Raw, tomorrow night, which we'll cover that next week. And Bret better be showing up to retire, or Steve Austin's going to kick his ass as well. So he goes out to the ring, and Stone Cold Steve Austin does defeat Hunter Hearst Helmsley with the stunner. During the match, this was interesting. During the match, Mr. Perfect comes down to take Hunter's escort again, and one thing leads to another, and Austin and Mr. Perfect end up in each other's faces, and Austin throws a drink into Mr. Perfect's face. They were about to go at it, but Triple H snuck up from behind and started attacking Austin again. And it was supposed to play up Mr. Perfect and Triple H's match on next week's Raw. But that was just interesting to see Austin and Mr. Perfect, like, just almost square off. That was good TV. So, next up, the WWF Tag Team Championship. Owen Hart and the British Bulldog with Clarence Mason retain their titles against the Smoking Guns, which is good. I'd rather see Owen and Bulldog with them than the Smoking Guns or Godwins or anything. It's, 1995 for me. I forgot to mention this. So JR's heel again. So when they go on the air, Kevin Kelly and Vince McMahon have a microphone to talk, when they first on the air, they have the microphones they talk into before they get on their headsets and they didn't have a microphone for JR. And JR's like, well, where's my damn microphone? And blah, 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 blah. So then they get on commentary, and real technical glitch here. JR's headset's all fucked up, so he can't talk on commentary either, which plays fine into this angle. You hear him like talking next event, like he sounds, distant from Vince's headset, like, well, this is bullshit. Why don't I get a working headset, McMahon? And just going off on Vince, who's one of the commentators. Like,
you son of a bitch.
Yeah. So he finally goes into the ring and cuts a promo complaining about Vince firing him again. And now he's having technical difficulties in his headset. And he was responsible for bringing Bret Hart back tomorrow. And then Vince says something on commentary like, well, I don't know about that. And JR's all, did you go to South Africa and get him? Did you go out there and talk to Bret Hart? And started screaming at Vince. So, and that was it. Like, then nothing else. He didn't bring out fake Diesel and fake Razor or nothing at all. Just, that's it.
Missed opportunity.
What?
I said missed opportunity.
Yeah. Could have had JR versus Vince McMahon back when they were both young. Ahmed Johnson makes his return and injures Farouk. We have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Wildman Mark Merrill with Sable defeats Goldust via pinfall, which is funny because they're going to have a dark match tonight to actually make the In Your House worth it for the fucking fans, which is going to be Shawn Michaels defending WWF Championship against Goldust. So he goes for both single titles tonight. You know, Goldust. Yay. Yeah.
Where's the crickets?
Yeah. So, number one contenders match. Psycho Sid versus Vader with Jim Cornette. The winner will go on to face the WWF champion at Survivor Series. Vader goes to powerbomb Sid, and Sid reverses it and kind of choke slams him out of nowhere and pins Vader. And the choke slam looked just as bad at the pay-per-view as it did a couple weeks ago on Raw. Vader's just not meant to be choke slammed. You know, how high are you going to get that fucker in the air? Yeah. HBK comes in the ring afterwards. He was on commentary during the match, and he shakes Sid's hand afterward, not knowing that Ron Perlman had pissed on it. So then we get our main event. What's this on my hand? I'm the ruler of the world. So we get our main event, the Buried Alive match, Undertaker versus Mankind. Now, before the match, we actually get a real nice video package highlighting Mankind's debut and just the weeks of destruction on the Undertaker, just kicking his ass. Then we fast forward. And then we fast forward to SummerSlam, and Mankind not only defeats Undertaker, but steals his manager, and just, you know, Mankind fucking locking Undertaker in the Goldust casket a few months ago and beating the shit out of it with a fucking piece of rebar or a sledgehammer or whatever he had. And then Taker's only real form of retribution throughout all this is when he stopped Mankind from attacking Shawn Michaels after their world title match at last month's pay-per-view and Mind Games. So it was a great video package. Then they come out to the ring. They have their match. Pretty decent. And it does end with Undertaker defeating Mankind by choke slamming him into the grave and burying Mankind alive.
Serves him right.
Yeah, so I guess... I saw this in some results because it was just kind of weird how it went together. I guess Mankind and Paul Bearer cut a promo, but that's only on the video cassette. No, that happens afterwards. I'm so sorry, guys. Taker continues to bury Mankind following that. They'll have their promo afterwards, but yeah. Taker starts burying Mankind. None of the refs are able to stop him. And then Terry Gordy, under a mask as the executioner, basically makes the save for Mankind by coming out there, hitting Taker with a shovel, and then fishing Mankind out of the grave. Mankind and the executioner then throw the Undertaker in the grave and try to bury him completely, and it's taking a long time. So other heel wrestlers come out and they're helping bury the Undertaker, and because they have to have him all the way buried for the iconic shot at the end. And that's once he's buried, and they've buried the Undertaker, god damn it, and then Taker's fucking hand raises out of the dirt. I'm not dead. So all that shit just to see Taker's hand. And that's basically how the pay-per-view went off the air. Again, Paul Bearer and Mankind cut some sort of promo that you can only see on the Coliseum home video. Let me see if I can find anything on it, what they say. But just it was almost like a glorified episode of Raw. It really was kind of just an episode of Raw, except with a Buried Alive match at the end. wasn't very exciting. Like compared to Fall Brawl for WCW in September, that was a lot more exciting. That's all I can say. I mean, it was, yeah. WWF, and they're going to get better in 1997, but it was a bad way. So, yeah, in the home video exclusive, Mankind, Paul Bearer cut a promo about what just happened, and I guess that's where they officially named the Executioner the Executioner. And
very original.
Yeah, and that's why it was all fucked up, because Taker's hand comes out of the gravesite at that point, but you don't see the promo on the actual pay-per-view, so it just kind of cuts to that.
Yeah.
Just weird. Weird show.
Bad production.
Okay.
Yeah. Terry Gordy was the Terry Bam Bam Gordy that used to be in the Freebirds. That's so funny that was him. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Jesus. I didn't even know he was still working at that point, honestly. I thought he was long retired by then. But
we'll take a look at the Executioner.
I got a picture. I got one ready.
Okay. Is it the one with Paul Bearer and Man? Good,
Yep.
Good. That's the one I was looking at. All right, Glenzer, are you ready? Glenzer's like, I left 30 minutes ago, dude.
Yes.
That's scary.
We need to defeat WCW. Get me Terry Gordy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't even look menacing.
He looked like the pizza gnome. Or,
The Noid.
What the hell is his name?
Yeah, the Noid.
The Noid, yeah.
The Noid, yep.
Oh my god.
Until Noid gets his head cut off. I'm gonna make that into a GIF.
See, that's when I see the Executioner, that's what I think for Walu Gazy.
By God.
By God.
I'm good. I'm good old JR Tep, and I'm staring in by God.
Hold on, Draven, we need that picture back up, brother, if you can, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Because
Draven, get it back up again for old JR Tep.
look, this is how you get the Executioner over. Let's yeah. Wait for the picture to be back up. Okay. So when the Undertaker sticks his fucking hand out of the dirt and completely shoot, fucking Terry Gordy should have taken that fucking blade and just cut that motherfucker off, dude. That's how you get somebody over.
I don't know. With that whole get-up, I don't think that would have even worked.
Like,
yeah,
well,
but they had taken his ass seriously after he cut his motherfucking hand off.
You can get away with that get up if you're fucking slicing motherfuckers up.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
I mean, he just should have cut his fucking hand off. By God.
Get the Brutus the Beefcake in there with the big shears and just chop his hand right off.
Oh, right.
He could have just used this. Hang on. Where's the button?
Yeah, brutal morning. What the worst thing is, Linda's gash smells like Perlman's gash. So what are you even supposed to do? You know,
It's a lot of stinky gash.
He has an epileptic seizure. By God.
That's his diamond sword.
Yep. I don't know. It's just laying here on the floor. I just feel inclined to just play with that stupid thing.
You know, a year from now, Mr. Shawhan, yeah, WWF is going to be damn good, but it's insane. Like, you think of WWF last year compared this time last year compared to this time this year, it's the same old shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, so the drastic change that occurs is it's cool. It's cool to see, you know, and I can't fucking wait for that. But right now, this is the shit we're getting. You know, like, talk all the shit about Vince Russo that you want, but he had to have some kind of fucking effect because this is some bullshit that we're watching. Like, I don't blame Vince Russo. Like, there's that story of like Vince Russo basically telling Vince straight up, he's a magazine writer, and he's like, this is shit. Like, fans don't want to see this shit. Vince, well, what would you do? And here we are, you know. Vince Russo may not have been perfect, but I'll tell you what, him and Vince McMahon made one hell of a team.
Well, he was on creative with Cornette through a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Cornette's fucking on creative right now. We see what we should push Big Van Vader, Vince. No, thank you, Jim.
They're both fucking like I think they should have like a who's the bigger fucking bundle of sticks battle royal and let those two queens just duke it out.
Jim Cornette looks like he fucking kidnaps little boys. Like, he looks like, and that's something like, he was a good heel, but man, that dude looks fucking weird. Oops, I'm sorry. I meant to remove the fucking executioner. Executed you, Etep. Sorry.
Damn it. By God.
My God.
By God, Tony. That backdrop's got a family.
I just couldn't look at JR's fucking face anymore.
Ooh, Profit Guide.
So this is weird because if I'm not, I should have pulled this up before. I'm pretty sure Sasha Banks got an AEW invite like a week or two ago.
Oh yeah.
So what did her and Naomi walk out of? What did these two bitches walk out of?
This was like, what, May 7th. So 10 days ago, Sasha Banks got an invite to join Team Taz in AEW. They told her anytime she wants to join AEW, you're fucking welcome, girl. Come on over.
All right.
So now 10 days later, and not even 10 days.
There's
really
bad creative issues.
Last night, yeah. Sasha Banks and Naomi walked off the fucking job, and look, she's fucking one of the Usos, who's fucking Roman Reigns. And yeah, I said it.
Wait, one of the Usos is fucking Roman Reigns, and she's fucking them?
Yep.
By God.
So,
wait. Is she married to one of the Usos?
She is.
Okay, so and Roman's smashing that too. Is it because she's amazing?
Well, no, it's she's smashing Jimmy, and then Jimmy's smashing Roman. So it's like weird.
Oh.
Look, it gets lonely on the island.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, but like,
is she the one from The Mandalorian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sasha, yeah.
Sasha Banks. She's also Snoop Dogg's cousin, and then Naomi's with the fucking Uso.
She had a huge chip on her shoulder, like right in the beginning, right as soon as she walked out there.
Yeah, she's hot. She's hot as fuck, though.
I
think she's sexy.
So
I found her Star Wars figure. I might review that.
Nice.
Okay.
I've had it for months sitting there.
My question is,
what? Oh, go ahead.
No, feel free.
No, it's just because like I lost interest in Star Wars. I got like 3 Star Wars figures or something just sitting there. Like, never mind. It's like I don't think anyone really gives a fuck if I did do the review.
See, this is fucking wrong. I'm reading ahead here because I was going to say, are they going to go after them like they did Steve Austin? So this isn't the first time WWE talents have taken themselves off camera for displeasure with the company, most notably Stone Cold in 2002, CM Punk in 2014. What's unique about Naomi and Banks' no-show is WWE acknowledging the incident live on air the same evening. They acknowledged Steve Austin the same fucking evening. They were going all over his ass, and fucking Rock's coming out. Well, you took your ball and went home. But the WWE is Rock's home. See you in 14 years. Like, okay, dude. Fuck you, Rock.
Okay.
It wasn't mentioned weeks afterwards. Austin was fucking mentioned right away, and fucking as far as Punk, the fucking fans knew about it already, and they were chanting CM Punk like crazy. The Raw after he walked out. So the exact timeline of Banks and Naomi leaving the arena is unclear, as is the legitimacy of WWE's statement, which up front appears to save face with fans as if it could be part of the show. It's fishy as shit. The WWE claims their women's tag team champions left the venue during the show, while multiple online reports state it was hours before, causing the company to change the script by showtime, which,
Basically, they wanted to put them in matches, like singles matches against the champions, and have them lose, basically, which kind of destroys them, basically being, like, it makes the women's tag champions look like shit. Like, it puts them under, like, you know what I mean? It makes it less valuable. So it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, they got over at WrestleMania. It's like, why would you fucking do something to put, like kind of bury them in a way as tag champions? Like, you're devaluing the championships that they have by doing that.
You go out there and you do your fucking job. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know.
Like, they're not Stone Cold. Like, I can see why Stone Cold Steve Austin did that. Like, again, guys like me don't come around every fucking day, and you're gonna send me but I'm sorry, like,
but to be fair, this isn't just them that are probably having issues with bad creative either. Like, it's probably more widespread than just these two have an issue with it. So
yeah. No, I feel that. I don't.
That's
like,
why you
honest
have people
to God,
leaving or getting fired and coming over to, other promotions.
Like, sorry, but women's tag team wrestling does nothing for me, and y'all can think of me of what you want. I don't give two shits about the women's tag division, the women's tag team championship.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fucking, we're going back to a clown show here, like wrestling started at the carnival and we're headed right back there. Like, it just doesn't.
The current state of tag team wrestling overall is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Like, tag teams are always my favorite.
I just, for me, honestly, like, everyone, Naomi and Sasha Banks walked out. It's kind of like,
Naomi ain't shit.
It doesn't mean anything to me, any of it.
I'd have to see a photo of Naomi to know who she is.
I mean, she's not any transcendent worker like Sasha's.
I think Sasha walked, she walked. That's
Sasha's like
Brodus
okay.
Clay. You remember Brodus Clay, Vinny?
She was.
I vaguely remember her now. She looks kind of familiar, but
she was one of Brodus Clay's hoes.
The Funkadactyls.
Oh, I remember Brodus Clay.
She looks like she's got some Funkadactyl.
Oh, she's fine, but
they tried to push him as this bullshit, and it didn't. No, but people didn't.
He's on Gutfeld now.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long did he last in WWE?
Couple years, but they were pushing him like he was fucking Rikishi. Come on, man! Like, do something with this guy. He's fucking huge. But
yeah. I think it was the stupidest gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Vince is like, hey, you're kind of a black guy, right? Why don't you come out and dance around? Come out and dance around to hip hop wearing a tracksuit. The kids will love it. We'll give you two black girls with big asses.
Yeah.
Well, that's like with the King of the Ring shit that they try to like lump the King of the Ring or the King status onto everybody that wins the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Booker said they need to retire this shit. Like, just retire this shit because
he's better on Gutfeld.
Booker said that he worked like it was a shit thing when he got it, but he made it work. Like, he did what he needed to do to make it work.
I hated King Booker. Like, he was already made at that point.
Yeah. He didn't.
It
sounded like he doesn't like it either, but he made it work. And
the worst part is the commentator is King. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought the King of the Ring winner should go on to get a title shot at SummerSlam, the way the Royal Rumble winner
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
gets a shot at WrestleMania. And I think,
Yeah.
that way it's like, okay, it's kind of the effect the Money in the Bank briefcase has now. Like, if they gave him the briefcase, they're taking this guy seriously. That's how I think the King of the Ring should have went, Oh, and I don't think it should be, well, we're having a qualifying match here tonight on Raw, like a one-night tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Winner gets to go on to SummerSlam to get a shot against the champion. That's what the King of the Ring should be. But they always fuck around with it and hail Johnny Cage. It's just lame. Like, no one takes your shit serious because you don't take it serious.
Yeah.
No, they always have to make everything stupid. Like the King of the Ring as just a tournament is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they water it down and they homogenize it and they make it stupid. And yeah, here we are.
Snap into a mini sausage.
Snap into it, Walton. Oh, God, snap into a Vienna.
Macho Man.
Oh my God, New Jersey. Chris Christie. Hit his boyfriend. Walton. Of course.
Goddamn.
Big, yeah. My sister lives in New Jersey and they live by the water, so I'm gonna ask her, like, at night, if you're out on your balcony of your condo and you kind of stick your ear out, do you hear the gay frogs, the big fat fucking gay frogs slopping around behind the dumpster like two pigs fighting over milk duds?
That croak goes like this. Ribbit, I'm late. Oh my God.
So,
Goddamn.
okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is the part of the program that you've all been waiting for. I don't know.
Well,
Rand Paul won tonight, by the way, like by a fucking landslide. 86%.
good
Nice.
for him.
Yes.
So I actually found footage of Chris Christie and a fan from over the weekend. If anyone's
Yes.
That's the sound he makes when he comes.
Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines. Bud. Wines. Bud. Bud. Wines.
Yeah, very controversial tape.
And then they had an orgy, a gay orgy.
Didn't the crocodiles eat them?
One can only hope. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that fat greasy piece of shit would love to have some big fucking thing put him in his mouth, wouldn't he?
Glenser's asking you, Etep, did you say your sister lives down by the river?
She does.
Was it the river we just witnessed in that tape?
If that river's in fucking Frogville, yeah, it might be.
Tommy says she hears gay frogs making throaty noises behind pizza shops.
Probably. She'd probably go drape a pride flag over him and be like, "You guys are so courageous. You're stunning and brave."
Standing and brave.
But she'd mean it. She just loves it. She's the commie one. It'd be like, It was her birthday yesterday. And I didn't even call her, text her. I was like, "Oops, I forgot. Oh no." Anyway,
Superfan, I think they should have Stephen Walton win the King of the Ring, and he can go by King Walton for a year.
King Walton. It looked like in Game of Thrones when they hired when Joffrey hired the midgets and he was making fun of Tyrion with them, and he had a midget of a midget. Now that would be Walton. Like
Can we
Walton
do
is
that?
like Walton is a midget. Can we get a midget to play Walton? Like, because that would be even better. Like, because it'd be like two midgets. It's like two of the same thing.
Be fantastic. How do we make that happen?
Look, doppelgangers.
Pretty sure all the midgets fucking committed suicide when Homeboy put him out of work for Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
That's true.
Yeah,
Dinklage.
good job, Dinklage, you big-headed fuck.
Fuck.
So
No,
let's
doink.
go ahead.
Think. Think.
Yeah.
Think. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, let's go ahead and go around and plug our channels, what's going on, because I want to go eat dinner. I was supposed to eat hours ago and I fucking didn't.
It's like, I'm sick of you fuckers. Leave now.
Bud.
Get the fuck out of here.
Gay. Nailed it.
Oh, hey. So, you can follow me here on YouTube and over on Twitch. May 29th, we got a Double or Nothing with AEW happening, where we will have CM or Hangman Page and CM Punk for the title happen, and you also have Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa for the women's champion, and then the buy-in, which happens at 7 p.m. Eastern, is Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. So be sure to check us out over there.
This is his son.
Who's his son?
Hook.
Oh, Hook is Taz's son. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching it, and then after it's over, we will go live and we'll talk about it. So yeah, check us out. Should be a blast.
Can't wait, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, good old JR? When you're not confused on the AEW commentators team, where can we find you?
I'm good old JR Tip. You can usually find me making barbecue down having a. I will. Hi, I'm JR Tap. I'm gonna start. Everything is. Yeah, never mind. You can find me tomorrow night at 9 p.m. over on my channel, Going Rogue with Tony and Darius Munchausen and TBD. And also before that at 8:05 we'll have the Rogue Kazooian stream. So the members pre-show. The Nitro video, the week 7 is going public tomorrow. And I will be recording videos pretty much all day Thursday and Friday because I'm home alone all weekend. So I'll be recording all weekend. So yeah.
Do you need an adult?
I probably do at some point, but as long as I remember to eat, like it's bad. Like when the wife goes to the office and I'm just here by myself, there'll be like a whole day will go by. I'll be like, oh shit, it's dinner. I haven't eaten yet. I've been sitting here working most of the day.
Dude, that happens to me all the time whenever I'm fucking working. I look at the clock, I'm like, oh shit, it's dinner time and I missed lunch.
Yep. Yeah. So thank you, Tony. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Is in St. Louis riding on dubs. I don't know.
Remember, if you used to go by something in the WWF, JR will call you that in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
He called Kenny Omega the WWE champion. Like, good job. Good
Did he really?
Yes. He's a WWE champion, Kenny Omega. Like, whoa, dude. Calm down.
Calm your tits, JR.
Yes. Check the private. Yeah. Calm your old tits. Check the private chat, Etep. I meant to mention that to you yesterday. I haven't heard her on a stream before, so I don't know if maybe she might, we could play some trivia with her or something. So I think I met her in Las Vegas. Did we meet?
Yes, we did meet her.
We did? Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know her as well at the time.
I didn't know her either,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Vegas?
If
Damn.
That would be better. She's got her connection. When Walton tried to have her on, she was having all kinds of connection issues.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's because she was on the stream with us. She was cool, but she did not have a good connection.
Her internet is oppressed. That sucks.
By God.
It's all because of Ultra Mega. Remember that.
The internet is racist. By God. It must be Jerry the Wee was Kang Lawler's fault.
Never forget.
Look, there's nothing more oppressive than delivering a consistent and quality product on time. And what, 6 of them now?
6 is on the way. I was talking with them again. Apparently, they're going to dispatch the books on the 24th. So, hopefully, I'll get it by the 27th or the 28th, and I could start, packing up all the books and getting them out there. Literally, it's the printers right now because of the paper shortage. Otherwise, I'd be, running back and forth to the post office already. So, guys, just hang in there a little bit longer. If I don't get them, if they don't ship them out by Tuesday or Wednesday, then I'll make another post and let people know there's a slight delay. But trust me, I am itching to get these things out the door because there's so much other shit I need to be doing right now. So I am the fulfillment king. You guys gave me that name. True to my word. Y'all get your books. Y'all gonna get your books. So no, it's a beautiful thing. You could also, in the meantime, check out my YouTube channel. We stay crazy over there as well. We have a good time. I got tour reviews up there. I got drawing classes, a bunch of cool shit. And these guys are usually on my channel as well. We're always having good laughs. So if you haven't, tuned in lately or you haven't seen my channel in a while, make sure you're subscribed because YouTube loves to unsubscribe people and just be dicks all around. But I've been posting up shit like every day. If it's not a tour review, it's a live stream, it's something. So tune in and enjoy the madness.
Yes, and Friday streams, those Sunday streams, those are always fire. Like always a good time. And
hell yeah, man! Thank you. I appreciate that. I always love hanging out with you guys. I was supposed to be on World Class Bullshitters as well, but I don't know if they're still doing one tonight. They were waiting. He was waiting on another guest, and the guy never replied to him. So I don't know what's going on.
That sucks.
And just me personally, I know fucking my view doesn't go out for everyone, but the way I see it, man, you've done your part. Like you can't rest on it yet till they're out in the mail. Everyone's receiving their editions of Shadow of the Kraken, but I mean, fucking, there's only there's shortages on fucking everything right now. I'm surprised there isn't an ink shortage. Like, holy shit.
Oh, dude. Well, I can tell you off air why there's a paper shortage. If I say it on air, we're gonna get pulled.
Yeah.
And even though it's a fact from the printer. They told me. I didn't even question. They were like, "Oh yeah, well, this is the reason." And
yeah. Well, like I've seen some pretty big YouTubers get pulled for reading facts off the CDC website. So I believe you, man.
It's all very gay.
Exactly what Superman says. We've got shortages on shortages. Wait
till China hits the button on us.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us keep Taiwan for now, China.
Sure. Taiwan, not a country. Sure. Leave our power on, please.
What's that?
Xi Jinping says, Shisha, ding. Shisha, mouse. Sure, I own you. Sure. Yes, Emperor Ping. Sure.
Can you do Nancy Pelosi speaking Mandarin?
You stupid peasants. I am a master at Mandarin. Alright, give me my scotch. I got a barmaid in the
It's all taxpayer funded.
I'm flashing my cards because my husband is. He picks the winners as well. The stock market's fantastic for our family.
Fuck.
Goddamn globalist.
Good times.
The frogs are gay. They got boyfriends named Chris Christie. Two fat, greased up. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But if I were to cast a pedo in a movie driving a white van, it would be those two. Infowars.com.
Yes. And Superfan, when they're not calling Australia the new Thailand, they're calling it down Underoo. So, everyone, thank you. Thank you for another great night. We'll be back next week. And finally, next week we are starting Bret Hart versus Steve Austin, which I've been looking forward to. This is going to lead us all the way into WrestleMania 13, the submission match. Ken Shamrock is the special guest referee. And I mean, and if you think that match is badass, wait till you see Taker versus Sid. That's gonna, yeah. But no, for Raw. And after that, we're gonna go into the new Raw set. We're going into Raw's War in the War Zone in 2 hours, and it's just going to be good times. So I'm really excited. I can't believe we're almost through 1996. I barely thought we were going to make it through 95. Like, I'm not going to lie, I don't mind Nitro as much. I did not want to watch Raw in 1995. Holy fuck. That was so bad. But we're almost through the woods now. Through the woods.
Right. Hardcover edition still available. Get it now.
Yes.
Nice segue.
It's a lot more entertaining than Raw in 1995, I assure you.
He just tagged me in. It was great.
Yes. I said it. Fucking the subliminal plug, because that's how we roll here. So, ladies and gentlemen, they are not pop culture. They are agenda. We are pop culture. We will be back next week. I look forward to seeing everybody. Chat, you fucking rock. Everyone on the panel, you rock. Subscribe to Red Gaze. Subscribe to Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Tommy, I hope you feel better, and we'll see everyone soon.